I want to open up with the book of Micah, chapter 2, verse 1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it, because it is in the power of their hand. Verse 2. And they covered the fields and take them by violence, and houses, and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house, even a man in his heritage. I want to give all praise and honor to Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai by Hashem Rikakadash, and thank the battle axe, the Akim out there teaching, the elders out there teaching and preaching, risking their lives to do so, and the great brothers that's out there also with preaching and teaching sincerely throughout the earth. Okay, so I'm gonna open up with this video. I'm not to receive any proceeds regarding this video, and I'll conclude this video with some precepts. Thank you.
Now it's time for a brief history of the United States of America. Hi, boys and girls, ready to get started? Once upon a time, there were these people in Europe called pilgrims, and they were afraid of being persecuted. So they all got in a boat and sailed to the New World where they wouldn't have to be scared ever again.
Oh, I'm so relaxed.
I feel so much safer. But as soon as they arrived, they were greeted by savages, and they got scared all over again. So they killed them all. Now, you'd think wiping out a race of people would calm them down, but no. Instead, they started getting frightened of each other. Witch! So they burned witches. In 1775, they started killing the British so they could be free. And it worked, but they still didn't feel safe. So they passed a Second Amendment which said every white man could keep his gun. I loves my gun. Loves my gun. Which brings us to the genius idea of slavery. You see, boys and girls, the white people back then were also afraid of doing any work. So they went to Africa, kidnapped thousands of black people, brought them back to America, and forced them to work very hard for no money. And I don't mean no money like I work at Walmart and make no money. I mean $0. Nothing. Not a zip. Doing it that way made the USA the richest country in the world. So did having all that money and free help calm the white people down? No way. They got even more afraid. That's because after 200 years of slavery, the black people now outnumbered the white people in many parts of the South. Well, you can pretty much guess what came next. The slaves started rebelling. There were uprisings, and old master's heads got chopped off. And when white people heard of this, they were freaking out and going, "Oh, no, don't kill me, big black man." Well, just in the nick of time came Samuel Coe, who in 1836 invented the first weapon ever that could be fired over and over without having to reload. And all the southern whites were like, "Yeah!" But it was too late. The North soon won the Civil War and the slaves were freed. Yep, they were free now to go chop all the old master's heads off. And everybody was like, "Oh no, we're gonna die." But the freed slaves took no revenge. They just wanted to live in peace. But you couldn't convince the white people of this. So they formed the Ku Klux Klan. And in 1871, the same year the Klan became an illegal terrorist organization, another group was founded, the National Rifle Association. Soon politicians passed one of the first gun laws, making it illegal for any black person to own one. It was a great year for America, the KKK and the NRA. Of course, they had nothing to do with each other, and this was just a coincidence. One group legally promoted responsible gun ownership, and the other group shot and lynched black people. And that's the way it was all the way to 1955, when a black woman broke the law by refusing to move to the back of the bus. White people just couldn't believe it.
Well, I won't say no.
What's going on? Man, all hell broke loose. Black people everywhere started demanding their rights, and white people had a major freaky fear meltdown, and they were all like, "Run away! Run away!" And they did. They all ran fleeing to the suburbs where it was all white and safe and clean. And they went out and bought 250 million guns and put locks on the doors, alarms in the houses, and gates around the neighborhoods. And finally, they were all safe and secure and snug as a bug. And everyone lived happily ever after.
I'm going to finish off with some precepts. Let's get the definition of savages or savage. out of the Collar Dictionary. Someone or something that is savage is extremely cruel, violent, and uncontrolled. Okay? So let's get the book of Exodus, chapter 21 and verse 16. And he that stealeth a man and selleth him, or if he be found in his hand, he shall surely be put to death. Let's continue down on verse 24. Eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth, hand for hand, foot for foot. Verse 25. Burning for burning, wound for wound, stripe for stripe. So you did see in the video how cruel and savage that the so-called white man was and still is. Okay, because they love to use reverse psychology, and they are always lying because they talk with a forked tongue. Okay, so let's continue in the book of Numbers, because I like to use precept upon precept. Okay, line upon line, here a little and there a little. That's in the book of Isaiah chapter 28 verse 9 and 10. So like I said, let's go to Numbers 35 and 33. The book of Numbers chapter 35 verse 33. So ye should not pollute the land wherein ye are, for the blood it defiles the land, and the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shedded therein, but by the blood of him that shed it. Now I know that was like cartoonish, and Esau liked to make fun of things. He speak lawfully concerning oppression. Okay, and I'm just paraphrasing. Okay, so let's continue in the book of, let's go to Isaiah 33 and verse 1. Let's see what the Lord say. All praise to Yahweh Shai and Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. This is the book of Isaiah chapter 33 verse 1. Woe to thee that spoileth, and thou wast not spoiled, and dealt treacherously, and they dealt not treacherously with thee. When thou shalt cease to spoil, thou shalt be spoiled. And when thou shalt make an end to deal treacherously, they shall deal treacherously with thee. Okay? So let's continue with the book of let's go to Jeremiah chapter 30 and verse 16. The book of Jeremiah chapter 30 and verse 16. Therefore all they that devour thee shall be devoured, and all thy adversaries, every one of them, shall go into captivity, and they that spoil thee shall be a spoil, and all that preyed upon thee I will give for prey. Let's continue with let's go to Obadiah. Let's go to the book of Obadiah. And let's start at Obadiah we'll start at 15. For the day of the Lord is near upon all the heathen. As thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. Thy reward shall return upon thy own head. Verse 16. For as ye have drunken up on my holy mountain, his holy mountain is Israel. Okay, the Israelites. You know, starting out with the tribe of Judah, the southern tribe, Benjamin and Levi, and then the rest of Israel, from Ephraim on down. Ephraim, Gad, Simeon, Zebulun, Issachar, Naphtali, Asher. Okay, etc. So shall all the heathen drink continually. They shall drink, and they shall swallow down, and they shall be as though they have not been. Verse 17. But on Mount Zion, that's his holy mountain. Okay, that's the Israelites. I'm going to start over. But upon Mount Zion shall be deliverance, and there shall be holiness, and the house of Jacob shall possess their possessions. 18. And the house of Jacob shall be a fire. So wait a minute. The house of Jacob shall be a fire, because some like to say they're going to be on fire. So let's get that fire. Let's break that fire down. Let's go to Jeremiah 5:14. Then we'll continue in Obadiah. Jeremiah chapter 5. See that fire. And 14. Wherefore thus says the Lord God of hosts. So his hosts is his angels. And we're going to, read here verbatim. Okay? Because Lord in Paleo Hebrew means Yahweh. Okay? I'm going to start over. Wherefore thus says the Lord God of hosts, because ye speak this word, behold, I will make my words in thy mouth fire. That's that fire. And this people wood, and it shall devour them. Let's continue in Obadiah. Start over in 18. And the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau for stubble. So Esau, biblically, okay, that's the so-called white man's name is Esau, Edom, the Edomites, okay, Idumea, the Agagites, the Chaldees, okay, they like to use the term, Europeans or Americans or British, the Brits, they like to use the term French, okay, Dutch, Italians, okay, Russians, okay, the Turks, okay. Those are the titles that they've stolen and used to cover up who they truly are biblically. Okay? So let's continue. I'll start here. And the house of Esau for stubble, and they shall kindle in them and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for the Lord have spoken it. Okay? So let's get the last verse. Let's go to Revelations and I'll close out. Okay? Because most of Esau, they don't like to hear this verse. Even the other nations, the heathen nations, they really don't. They don't like this verse right here in Revelations, chapter 13 and verse 9. I'll start there and read verse 10 also. If any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity, like we read in Jeremiah, shall go into captivity, like we also just witnessed in the little cartoon that we watch. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. Thank you for your time and your listening ear. Shalom.